Okay, Javier, so it's time for a new video. So let's see how this year will go regarding the video recordings. So, okay, this is a problem that someone reported in the office. I don't know if you want to speak about it or if I should explain it.
Yeah, basically, as always, we are so used to XPO and the way that XAF and the updater works that we take it for granted. So we had an app that basically have our SAF Blazor front end, we have our SAF API, and then we have another part. We have a mobile app that is connecting to the software API, and we also have a small React app that is also connecting to the same software API. So the updater in different entity framework, so we have to do some changes in the database side that were not reflected on the classes, on our business model. And every time we run the updater, the column that it was not on that class, it was deleted. So that was an actual issue. Of course, we were on development phase, but if you think about a production environment, that first you should not run the updater, but we also know that we have some apps there that we have the updater running. But definitely it's not like the same behavior against XPO that XPO will never delete, not even alter a field that you already have created. So with that introduction, Jose.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, basically is we really don't want to remove anything in general. We want the same behavior as XPO. So here we have a test application and I just deleted the databases, so there is nothing here. This is going to run on Postgres, but it will run in any entity framework implementation. I just use Postgres because of the X 64 versus ARM problem that I always have. So it's better to use Postgres for these cases. Okay, so I'm going to run the application. This application only contains one object. And the object has 6 properties, if I remember well. So yeah, we have 5 properties and one extra one here. So breakpoint, of course, continue. So right now the database is going to be created. So here we have all these columns. So let's put values 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and text. Okay, so let's go and check the database size. So here, let's refresh. Let's go to the table. And we have the ID and the 5 properties and the text column. So far so good. Let's stop this. And I want to show the normal behavior right now. So I'm going to comment out or implementation. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this column. It can be any of the columns, of course, but to make it more simple. So let's run this again. And what will happen is that the schema difference will tell, okay, you used to have this column, now you don't have this column. You need to remove it. So after the updater finish, we don't have that column that I just commented out, the test new column. And if we go and check the database, and we check here, we don't have that column anymore. It was dropped actually from the database, see? So this is like, even if you it's not that you have the updater on release, is that in general sometimes you will use the updater to update the schema, right? It's the easiest way. That's why we use have. So let's stop this. Let's put this column back, and it's going to be recreated after this. Now let's do both steps at the same time. So in the context, what we have done is we haven't replaced basically a service, the migration model difference. We create our own. And in this model difference, and I'm talking about the EF core model, what we do in the shortest way possible, I don't want to explain the whole class, is we check the operations, we filter them, and if it's drop operation, we remove it from the list and we skip that change basically. It took time to figure out what was the correct implementation, but since we have access to SAF source, we check how they did it, how they handled the updater, and then we came out with the same type of solution. So let's go. Okay, the breakpoint. Okay, so we have the column again. So let's do a value here. And stop the application. In this case, we have our service that is replacing the default service. And then we will remove 3 columns. These 3 columns without our implementation of the custom migration service, they will have been dropped. But in this case, when we run it, we will see the changes here, and we will see that we drop those changes, that the column dropping sentences will not include on the schema difference. So let's go here. So we started with 12 operations that the migration will do. So here we have the 12 operations, see, like drop, drop, drop. And here we have filtered those ones. Here we have 9. So basically we decide what to implement and how to put it on the script. And then the normal flow of entity framework and stuff will actually run. So we continue. We will not have them in the UI. Why? Because we removed them from the class model. But what happened is that when we go to the database side and we refresh, we should have still the new column with the values. And here we didn't drop it, even if they are not in the class anymore. See? And in one way that you can notice that they were dropped and then added is that they are after the optimistic lock. So it looks like they were added after one of the changes already. So that's all for this video. We didn't want to bore you with the implementation of the migration. That's kind of, you can see that on the entity framework source. They have that service, so we just implement it in a different way. And this will work for Postgres, SQL Server, MySQL, and so on. Anything that you want to share, Javier?
No, basically that's it, Jose. I think that again, as we mentioned, that's a dangerous thing to
Really dangerous.
And it makes sense. It makes sense to have control here of everything we want to do, to filter those drop. Even we can filter some alter. So it's up to us what we need to do here. So I think definitely we'll be using this in other projects. All right, that's all on my side. Again, we still learning. We're still going through all of this crazy XAF world, and we're really excited for what's coming. Thanks for watching as always.
Okay, see you in the next video.
Okay, in the next.